Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever. The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory. All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging. No salutations needed. My exalted status shall not be disclosed as we travel among the common folk. I acknowledge that you are a person of superior ability. Henceforth, you will be my guard. Worry not. Should any danger arise, I shall dispose of it. Rainfall alone does not constitute a storm. Thunder is required. Oh, dear me. That didn't frighten you, did it? After all, you are in the presence of the most supreme and terrifying incarnation of lightning in the whole of Teyvat. The Winter Shogun approaches. Clear skies can do nothing to hide the brilliance of lightning. Divine bolts can strike even in the absence of rain. Do you see that tree? Wait, you understand? So, demonstration is not required. Good. Yawning without covering your mouth. Uncouth. I will pardon your rudeness this time. Good morning to you, too. Time for dessert. What? Why not? What do you mean entrees come first? They were only indulging me because I am the Shogun? Huh. Interesting. Do you wish to know the truth about the shooting stars at night? They are but fleeting moments of luminosity. You used to be one of them? Oh. Are you a Tengu warrior? I command the thunder in all corners of the world to cease. Rest well tonight. Thunder's roar and lightning's flash. So ephemeral. This is why reaching eternity is desirable. Actually, no. This is why reaching eternity is necessary. Erosion is a terrible thing. This body's purpose is to withstand wear and tear, that the one within might achieve eternity. I declare you my Chamberlain. In other words, according to my judgment, you are useful to the Shogunate and loyal to me. Despite serving as my guard during this journey, you need not shield me from danger. The Shogun's constitution is rather robust, and in the event she does break down, we can simply get a replacement. In an emergency, just send her into the fray. The Inuzuman arts of polearm and sword combat, as well as the blade forging process itself, primarily originated with me. Since then, they have branched out and blossomed into a variety of techniques according to each master's individual aptitude. What would you say to another sparring session? If you emerge unscathed again, I'll let you found your own martial arts tradition in Inazuma. The drive to advance and evolve in the martial arts is truly unstoppable. Really? So in all this time, no new electrovisions have appeared in the outside world? Well, what I can say on this topic is subject to certain constraints, but it is not by my will that visions are granted or denied. The key is people's desire, and, well, there's another side to it too. No, I have nothing to share with you at this time. But you use elemental energy without the aid of a vision. How is this possible? Please enlighten me. Her body may have perished, but she became the sacred Sakura. This, too, is a form of eternity. That girl. She used to be the kind of person who could easily be swayed with some fried tofu. It's a relief to see how shrewd and resourceful she's now become. Still, I have to admit that I was a little upset to become the target of her scheming myself. I know it was for my own good, but I'm afraid she will mock me the next time we meet. Perhaps I should take the initiative and strike her first. She'll dodge it anyway. Kamisato. One of the most distinguished clans in all of Inazuma. Despite Ayato's trickery in regard to the Tri-Commission's affairs, he is nevertheless a loyal subject. His past misdeeds shall be excused. Kamisato. One of the most distinguished clans in all of Inazuma. Huh? That's exactly what the Shogun said? Well, Ayaka's also well versed in the art of the sword. A loyal and righteous subject, and an accomplished warrior. She is worthy to be called a hero. With an air of such great promise, the future prosperity of the Kujo clan is assured. Who? The firework maker. A manufacturer of fleeting illusions, enamored with the realm of fantasy and imagination, but a subject of mine nonetheless. Fireworks were released on Tenryou Commission property? By whom? Her? I can't deny that I am somewhat culpable in the events that led to him being almost stripped of his vision, but I rather think the Shogun should be the one to extend a formal apology to him. Okay, fine. I'll give it some more thought. Indeed, it was I who slew Orobashi. But I also allowed the people of Sangonomiya to continue worshipping it as the Watatsumi Omikami, so that it might enjoy their offerings. Now, Sangonomiya has destroyed the local Narukami shrine and rebels against the shogunate. As the divine priestess representing the Watatsumi Omikami, she must be held accountable. He came about as a byproduct of creating the shogun. Perhaps it's because I feel like I owe him something, but I do not wish to assert control over him. Who? I had an opportunity to feast with him once, back when I was just a Kagemusha attending a gathering of the gods. So he's made his choice. Be that as it may, I don't believe his story is anywhere near finished yet. That's the name the Animal Archon takes these days, is it? Truth be told, from the very first moment I met him, I could somehow sense that we were not going to get along. Also, he sure can drink a lot. State your query. To the point. On stormy days, the people of Inazuma chant Kuwabara, Kuwabara, believing that this will protect themselves from being struck by lightning. You need not worry about any storm summoned by my own hand. They will bring you no harm. Lightning storms that occur naturally, however, can be more unpredictable. The account given in the book, Treasured Tales, is largely an accurate one. At that time, she was preoccupied with various domestic matters within the island, so as her Kagemusha, I assumed her identity and joined the troops dispatched to pacify Watatsumi. After this point, however, the story turns into mere wishful thinking. Back then, I was just a martial artist wrapped up in all the fighting, not a social reformer or a moral leader. Perhaps my pursuit of eternity is nothing more than a form of escapism. In the end, the path I took was like that of a turtle who hides in its shell. Still, turtles have always been a symbol of longevity. Perhaps in order to reach eternity, one has to follow their example. I'm fearful because of what I witnessed 500 years ago. Her demise and that thing. But if it were you, everyone would be safe. You would have saved the world. Just like I cherish the memories of everything in Inazuma. If you remember me, I'll live forever. Foolish question. There are only two kinds of things. Those that must be done, and those that must not. Don't try and get me to cook. I can take care of anything else, but not that. Oh, don't listen to the Shogun. Desserts. Cavities are no big deal. You can just replace your teeth. Anyway, I just don't see how desserts can pose a serious obstacle to my pursuit of eternity. Foolish question. There are only two kinds of foods. Those that must be consumed to nourish the body, and those that harm it. Is today the day of your creation? Return to the city with me. I will read out a speech for you in front of all my attendants. Embarrassing? Huh. Understood. Happy birthday. Let's celebrate together, and make it a moment to remember for the whole year until your next birthday celebration, and so on and so forth. Then, you shall have an eternity of happiness. The initial stage of my journey, or Shoden, involves learning the 9-way sword slash and the foundations of the art of the polearm. There is no great variation from other traditions at this point. Or rather, it is the other traditions that do not differ from mine. At the intermediate stage of my journey, or Chuden, the art of the sword focuses on the study of various stances and transitions. The art of the polearm, slashes and backslashes. The final stage of my journey, or Kaiden, is the study of the most profound techniques. Unavoidably, these draw heavily on elemental power, rendering them beyond the capabilities of most mortals. Most practitioners of other traditions are unable to ever reach this level. The profoundest of the profound is the Muso no Hitotachi, a sword art without parallel in all the world. With you as my sparring partner, I can perfect that technique even further.
I am the Guji of the Grand Narukami Shrine. The purpose of my visit is to monitor your every move, for such is the order of the shrine. Oh, come on, don't be so nervous. It's only officialese, for goodness sake. I couldn't just go gallivanting around for no reason at all, could I? Now, come on, do something amusing for me. Traveling to other worlds is all that anyone seems to be writing about these days. Goodness knows what they find so disappointing about their own world. Most humans could have the entirety of their fleeting lives chronicled in but a few short lines. Their stories really make for terribly dull reading. Personally, I think the idea of things staying the same forever is quite beautiful. But alas, that is simply not the way the world works. If this rain keeps up, my fur will be dripping wet. Many people dread the sound of thunder. To me, it sounds fondly familiar. I always see these non-sentient kitsune pouncing headfirst into the snow, scavenging for food. You'd like to see me do that? Haha, I'm sure you would. Morning. You look awfully drowsy. Didn't you sleep well? Come on then, what is it? What mischief were you up to last night, Ugh, what a headache. What should I have for lunch? Not fried tofu again. I'm in the mood for something a little lighter today. Oh, I know. I haven't seen the Yashiro Commission girl in a while. Let's get her to make us a little something, The moon is simply magnificent tonight. We mustn't squander it. Come, join me for a moonlight stroll. I won't take no for an answer. I suppose I should get some sleep. I must say, I do find it hard to doze off peacefully without the soothing sound of thunder booming in the background. Eternity means never having to let go of what you already have. But on the other hand, it also means giving up on all other possibilities. That's just the way of the world. No one can have everything. Humans are just fascinating creatures. That's why I'm so fond of them. They live such short lives, but for the time they're around, they shine as bright as the midday sun. There are some whose light never grows dim, even over great stretches of time. These are the lives that make for real page-turners. Boring. Utterly boring. Ugh, what could have possibly persuaded these people to become authors? Say, why don't you write out your story and submit it to Yae Publishing House? I'm sure that would keep me amused. I'm sure it would be a bestseller. Sealing yourself away from the rest of the world may only serve to accelerate the effects of erosion. Imagine a world consisting of you and you alone, with no one else to reflect you back at yourself. How awful that would be. Whenever we are together, it is vital that we always shine a light for each other, okay? It's rather difficult to remain enlightened in the dark. You're saying you like how I wear my vision? You certainly have an eye for a priceless treasure. Well then, I bet you'd like to pet it. Heat oil on a medium-high flame in a pot. Add the tofu and reduce the heat to a low flame. Cook until golden brown, take it out, then serve piping hot. There you have it, fried tofu. There's nothing more delicious in this world. Well, I've told you how to make it, have I not? Why are you still standing there? Though I occasionally get a little weary of the sight of it, I can't exactly avoid seeing it at the Grand Narukami Shrine after all. My fate is intimately intertwined with the sacred Sakura. Locking herself away in the plane of euthymia when she clearly wants to be out. It's just willful self-torture, really. On the other hand, it's also rather stubborn but cute, don't you think? The Yashiro rascal. He's always been an unpredictable one, even as a child. Don't be taken in by his warm smile. There's no knowing what devious scheme might be brewing inside his head. It's really quite maddening. What do you mean, sly as a fox? If you're trying to insinuate that he and I are anything alike, you are sorely mistaken. I'm very fond indeed of the Yashiro Commission girl. She adroitly handles every matter that comes before her. Unfortunately, it's often thankless work. Pity. Were she not a member of the Kamisato clan, I would have long since snatched her up for the Yae Publishing House. Not the sharpest Tengu in the forest. She certainly didn't inherit the brilliant mind of Daddy Tengu, that's for sure. How shall I put this? I suppose being blunt and dispensing with tact has its own advantages. But I do hope that the next time she visits the shrine, she keeps to herself. I've got better things to do than answer her incessant questions about A. Naganohara fireworks are well worth the wait every year. Word is that she caused quite an uproar among the Tenryo Commission recently by setting off fireworks all over the place. I'm sure the members of the Kujo clan must have turned purple with rage. A pity I couldn't be there to see it for myself. Now that you mention it, it's been a while since I last saw Ganyu. Before the Sakoku decree came into effect, the two of us would often meet to discuss bilateral relations between our two nations. I always found her quite reliable. The next time you go to Liyue, take her some more fresh sea Ganoderma for me. These divine priestesses seem to be getting cuter every generation. I wonder how she looks performing the dance of divine peace. Perhaps even little schools of fish swish around her while she spins. If she's ever looking for a more experienced head shrine maiden to learn from, I'd be quite happy to share a few tips with her. As long as she asked me nicely, of course. I thought it was a disaster waiting to happen at the time, but she insisted that she wasn't going to lift a finger against the object of her own creation. Had I known how things would unfold, I would have simply disposed of it without her knowing. What What about now? Well, we're no longer waiting for the disaster to happen, are we? Ah, the oddball Oni. I hear that he's been quite a pain for the Kujo clan. The Tenryou Commission wanted to remove his messages on the bulletin board, claiming that they were harmful to public order. I made quite sure they stayed put. He's an entertaining character. You don't often see Oni like him in this day and age. He certainly has a beautiful tail, although mine's a little softer. Ah, yes, the little ninja child. If there's one thing she can do, it's stay hidden. Kano Nana constantly complains to me about it. Apparently, she now spends so much of her time searching for Sayu that she barely has any time to read anymore. If you ask me, I'd say that Sayu has a secret ally who is helping her hide all the time. I've heard a lot about Miyuki's little sister. Quite the character, I'm told. Although she comes from a family of shrine maidens, she's gone her own way in life. Tried her hand at many different trades, studied abroad in Liyue, even ended up joining the Arataki gang. Fascinating girl. Maybe I should have Miyuki introduce me. Yes, that'll work. Miyuki wouldn't dream of refusing my request. Oh, you'd like to know more about me? I'm willing to tell, but what will I gain in exchange, It has to be a fair trade. So you tell me all about you, and I'll tell you all about me. Deal? Kitsune Saigu said that she was going off on a long trip, and she's never been back since. At the time, I wasn't the least bit inclined to take on the burden of managing the Grand Narukami Shrine. So she told me that as Guji, I would be able to eat all the fried tofu I desired. As if that would be a convincing reason. That woman spoke so much nonsense, honestly. She could be so insufferable. I decided to found Yae Publishing House simply because I wished to read more interesting light novels, that's all. But it turns out that seeing frazzled authors scraping the bottom of the barrel in a desperate attempt to get their novels finished is where the real amusement comes from. You wouldn't believe some of the excuses they come up with when they're trying to get a deadline extension. Oh, so much more creative than the novels themselves. Though I'm an avid reader of novels written by others, I've yet to pick up the pen myself. Writing a novel is quite an undertaking after all. But if there comes a day when you reach the end of your adventure and want somebody to record it, and if I happen to have the time when that day comes, we'll see. My favorite pastime is reading other people's stories. My second favorite is watching other people squirm. If I could find a way to combine the two... Oh, that would be entertainment in its purest form. Peace and tranquility seems to be all the rage nowadays, but it gets dreadfully boring after a while. Have you ever heard of a dish called kitsune udon? It's quite simple, really. Just fried tofu served on top of udon noodles. What do you think? Noodles and fried tofu, that's all. Doesn't it sound heavenly? Anything that has been pickled is firmly off limits for me. I don't care whether it's Medaka or Kiviak. What sort of person can stand that vile stench? I, for one, am Guji of the Grand Narukami Shrine, and I refuse to defile myself by ingesting such pungent things. Ah, so today is your birthday. Ahem. On your ceremonious reckoning of years, I task my kin with seeing to it that that which you seek you shall surely find, and that that for which your heart longs you shall surely receive. Remain pure of heart and true of spirit, and their protection shall be bestowed on you. There you go. May all go well in your year ahead, and may all your wishes be fulfilled. Are we done? When training to become a shrine maiden, the title of Chokai is granted once one has completed their requisite studies and can correctly chant for ceremonies. This might be very straightforward for humans, but it's the most difficult step for the kitsune. We are only foxes, after all. The training required to become a Guji's assistant, or seikai, is arduous indeed. You must observe a myriad of harsh restrictions. There is only one way to make it through. Snack at night, and make sure you don't get caught. Attaining the rank of Meikai requires one to decipher the workings of the world, transcend its limitations, and fathom all phenomena within. Usually, any who reach this level are granted a vision and a lifespan far beyond that of the average kitsune. Throughout history, only the Guji of the Grand Narukami Shrine has ever held the rank of Jokai. It is an honorary title, not related to the capabilities of the holder. But of course, if I were to declare myself the most powerful Jokai in history, I don't see why there'd be anything wrong with that.
Welcome to Naganohara. My name's Yoimiya. Just let me know if you need anything. We have kushikatsu, egg roll... Wait, no, we're not a restaurant. Oh, we make fireworks. Like these, see? Sparkling, crackling little fireworks. Fireworks are for now, but friends are forever. If we've got nothing else to do, why don't I tell you a story? Have you ever kept goldfish as pets? They're very cute. Ah! The fireworks are gonna get soaked! Let's find shelter quick! Oh, we're not going to make it! Watch me make a snowball! Pew! Ah, this is great. I feel so relaxed all over. I could almost float away. The wind's so strong! It's blowing my voice back at me! Good morning! The morning air is the freshest. Come on, take a few extra breaths. It'll make you smarter. Time for lunch. Oh my. It's an egg with a double yolk. What wonderful luck! Now's the best time to test our fireworks out. Though I'm sure they'll look good whether they explode in the sky or on the ground. Just kidding, I'll pay attention to safety. Question time! So, what should you do after watching fireworks all day? The answer is... to watch them again in your dreams, of course. Good night, see you tomorrow. My father's hearing isn't very good. When I was young, he would always smile no matter what I said to him. And so I thought everything I said was correct. So I kept talking, and he would keep smiling. Later, I found out that he was smiling because he couldn't hear clearly. But as long as he's truly happy, I'll keep talking to him. I don't worry about loose lips, sinking ships. The emotions contained in the words people say don't lie. Misunderstandings that arise from saying things wrongly can be resolved if you just talk more. But if you say nothing, the other person won't understand what you mean, and they can't get closer to you. Ooh, let's have a game of rock, paper, scissors. On my count now. Rock, paper, scissors. Woohoo! I won! I didn't change my choice halfway. Why would I ever do that? It actually doesn't matter what I do. What matters are the people I work with. When I'm with you, even simple things like watching the scenery or kicking a small jar about make me happy. Talking to you never gets old after all. Let me let you in on a little secret. When I first received my vision, I used it as a flint to light fireworks and boil water, before returning home, chucking it into a storeroom, and forgetting all about it. In the end, it was my father who found it and told me that it was a precious item that I should keep safe. At least it didn't get taken back by our dear Archon. Did you know a lot of the fireworks used during Liyue's Lantern Rite were purchased from our shop? I made them to order before asking Beidou to ship them to Liyue. Exports like these aren't allowed under the Sakoku decree, but how can there be festivals without fireworks? When the last sparks of the fireworks have disappeared into the sky, they turn into rain and snow and will fall upon the earth again, nourishing the land and nurturing humanity, so that someday they can be sent up into the sky again and display their magnificence. Of the many stories my father told me, this one is my favorite. Did you ever try to step on a spot of light before as a child? You know, those patches on the ground created when the sunlight passes through the leaves? I once thought that it would disappear if I stepped on it, but it would always jump onto my foot instead. I tried and tried and tried, but I never succeeded. Quite the sore loser I was then, sitting on a rock, sighing to myself and thinking, so there are things in this world that can't be stepped on. While squatting next to some children and watching them catch goldfish during one summer festival, I suddenly had a thought. Could I make fireworks that could go off on the surface of the water? Thus, the goldfish fireworks were born. They can swim here and there, emit multicolored lights, and they can even spit bubbles. I never thought it would actually work, but I guess wonders never cease. Beto's been helping me ship my fireworks out ever since Imazuna was locked down. I prepared a huge boat-shaped firework just to surprise her. And when the Crux fleet was about to leave, this firework went whoosh right in front of their eyes, straight into the sky. The sailors got such a huge fright, they thought one of their ships had somehow flown off. But Beto liked that trick very much, saying that it was exactly what a pleasant surprise should be. Very pleasant and a surprise. Fireworks are probably the furthest thing from the eternity that the Shogun pursues. She probably feels that their transient glory has no practical purpose in Imazuna. It's probably something that one who has eternity in their grasp will find hard to comprehend. It is precisely because we mortals are like fleeting shadows that we need to treasure such flickers of beauty. We cooperate a lot due to work. Unlike people in the other two commissions, she always lets me finish speaking and answers me seriously without showing any impatience. I'd say the word ladylike was practically made just for her. We once discussed matters concerning the summer festival deep into the night. We were both really tired, and I invited her to go take a bath. But when she heard that it involved many people bathing in the same pool, she went red in an instant. That was when I first learned that noble ladies can't use public baths. He's quite the talker, and has reasons behind every word that he says. Sometimes it might seem like there's no connection, but as he goes on, everything will eventually dovetail nicely towards a single purpose. It's, quite different from how I do things. I ask him for help whenever I encounter a matter I can't settle. Ayaka once asked me during a ritual at the shrine if I could prepare some fireworks for the Lady Guji's leisure. I thought to myself, isn't the Lady Guji supposed to sit inside the shrine throughout the ritual? So I watched her the whole time during the ritual, wondering how she'd like to release fireworks. I waited, and and then Ayaka came over at length to tell me that the Lady Guji was most pleased. I mean, what? She'd already released the fireworks? Was the person sitting inside the shrine not her then? Oh, he may look scary, but he is very popular with the children. However, he can be very competitive. Every time we play with the children, it always turns into a showdown between him and me. For example, we drink a bowl of ramen soup in one go, or try to eat sour plums without making any faces. The children will cheer us both on and try to guess the winner. And when that happens, well, then I can't let him beat me, right? Arataki's getting? Huh? So he isn't just someone with too much free time in his hands? People with no worries like myself speak plainly, while those with many cares often speak of ancient poetry or the scenery. They talk of flowers and birds, wind and moon, but never about the reality that confronts them. He's got quite the tale to tell, I'm sure. Due to public safety and fire hazard related concerns, I often get whisked off to the Tenryu Commission's place for a lecture. Kujusara's probably the most reasonable of the bunch. At least she'll hear me out before passing any judgment. If I'm in the right, she'll acknowledge my perspective. And if I'm wrong, then I'll get Toma to come and help me apologize to her. Let me know if you see her all right. I'd really love to take her to one of the festivals and introduce her to lots of new friends. She always looks a little down, but if she meets some people she can hang out with, maybe she'll slowly pick herself up again. Wait, you said there was a kid in Mondstadt who was good at making bombs? Now, they aren't much different from fireworks. In other words, she might be a genius. Oh, I'd love to meet her. But isn't it dangerous to let children play with explosives? Don't the people of Mondstadt worry about that? You want to hear a story? All right. Sit here and I shall tell you the story I'm most proud of. The story of the Naganohara family. You'll rarely ever hear me talk about something this serious, you know? Our family has a long tradition in which we will give every client who orders customized fireworks a note. Its contents can only be understood by our family, and records the specific formula of the fireworks that were ordered. Whether 10 years or 100 years pass, our family can make exactly the same fireworks as they did in the past, so long as the client brings us that note. The loveliest fireworks go along with the most wondrous moments. Tiny little emotions that can easily slip away are captured within these fireworks and passed down in a different form. The notes we give our clients are like a key that awaits those who wish to open a gate to commemorate the past. We at Naganohara are the keepers of that gate. Every moment of the summer festival is a moving tale. Those who meet under the light of the fireworks grow up, mature, and grow old. When they set off the same fireworks as they did in the beginning, the skies reflect the same image from years ago. Fireworks are not eternal, but I believe that the wonderful emotions behind them should walk alongside Imazuna into eternity. I shan't tell the final tale, I think. Instead, let's watch the fireworks together in silence. You can record the beautiful scenery and all the things you want to say down. Not that this is the end, of course. On the contrary, I believe that our story is only just beginning. Fireworks! Wait, that doesn't count. Well, then, let me think. This one's a toughie. I like to chat with the neighbors, I like going to summer festivals with the children, swimming, picking wild fruits. Oh, I can't decide which I like most. Wait, I've got it! I love playing with everyone. I'm copying the sound that Paimon makes while disappearing. The novel that I've been reading for a while finally reached its end, but the heroine lost her memory and the planned wedding fell through. That's so sad. I prefer snacks to entrees. I always go from stall to stall during festivals, eating as I go. By the way, are you any good at making snacks? I'll trade the dongo I made with you. Here, have the big ones. Milk never fails to start some real fireworks in my stomach. Crackle, kaboom. You know what I mean? But I can handle dishes and snacks made with milk for some reason. Maybe the little Celia in my stomach is just pickier than most. Birthdays are never occasions for yourself alone. Those who send you cakes, light candles, applaud, and cheer, they are all truly thankful that you were born into this world. That's why it must be a lively occasion, so that everyone can get their chance to thank you. Well then, happy birthday! Are you ready? I'm about to ignite the fireworks. The higher they fly, the louder the explosion. Let me give this shooting fireworks straight into the skies with a boat business a shot. With all these combat skills I've learned from you, I should just become an adventurer on the side, apart from my day job making fireworks. Or should I just become a hero instead? Never fear, Yoimiya's here! Evil be gone, justice prevails. Think this is a good way to introduce the powers you've taught me to the children? Isn't it cool? Hey, tell me if anyone picks on you too. I'll stick up for you.
Master of Inazuma Kamisato Art Tachi Jutsu, Kamisato Ayaka, present. Delighted to make your acquaintance. I only wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me. A blade is like a tea leaf. Only those who sample it many times can appreciate its true qualities. So this is a day in the life of the traveler. I'm learning more about you all the time. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems. Come with me. Let us find shelter from the rain. Her Excellency, what is she trying to communicate? Snow that once adorned the world in silver thaws to reveal the gleam of the fruit upon frost-laden branches. How picturesque. Only some tea would make the setting more complete. There's a pleasant breeze and glorious sunshine. So, where shall we go for a walk? Close your eyes and face the wind. It feels wonderful, doesn't it? Oh, good morning, traveler. Whenever I see you in the morning, somehow it makes me feel like today is going to be a good day.
Good afternoon. It is normal to feel drowsy after lunch. Might I interest you in a game of Go to stimulate the mind? Greetings. An auspicious breeze blows this evening. Tonight will be peaceful. Was it one's thoughts that drew him to my dreams? Had I known it a dream, one would not have awakened. I love that poem.
Inazuma Shogunate, Yashiro Commission, Kamisato Clan. Widely known as one of the most distinguished clans in all of Inazuma, it is the branch of the Tri-Commission that manages ceremonial and cultural affairs. Since my parents passed, Brother and I assumed responsibility for all clan matters, big and small. Many look up to me as the Shirasagi Himegimi and as the daughter of the Kamisato clan. But the object of their respect has everything to do with my position, and nothing at all to do with me, Ayaka. It makes me think that maybe there is only one person I know who is truly able to get close to me. Today, as in the past, I aspire to be somebody whom everyone can trust. But what motivates me is no longer the responsibilities I shoulder, or the expectations of other people. Rather, it is the fact that you are this kind of person too. If you've got time, shall we take a walk to Komore Tea House? To chat about the art of tea on a pleasant day like this seems like the sophisticated thing to do. If I ever have the chance, I would very much like to experience the festivities of another nation with you one day. Though, I will need some guidance on local customs and etiquette, and advice on what gifts to bring. Could I trouble you to give me some guidance? Visions are a seal of approval for those who are most ambitious. As for my own ambitions, they shall remain private for now. It is nothing more than an insignificant dream.
It is said that the flavor of Zen is that of tea, and it is also said that the power of Zen is that of the blade. One might then ask, what does that say about the relationship between tea and the blade?
Have you ever noticed the withering sakura tree in the city? For me, there is a beauty to the withering. It brings back fond memories of the spring. Most people don't agree. Sakura trees that will never bloom again are removed. But when I look at a tree, all I want is to see it blossom again. Just one more time. Toma is a dear friend. He always lifts my spirits with his sunny disposition. In a sense, I think of him as another brother, and as a full member of the Kamisato clan. Kujo-Sara of the Tenryou Commission is not known to smile, and I have had my fair share of disputes with her. She is, however, a loyal servant to Inazuma. There is no question about that. Mr. Shikanoin belongs to the Tenryou Commission, just like Miss Kujo. He is very principled, sometimes even more determinedly so than Miss Kujo. The only thing is, when it comes to the question of which matters should be governed by his principles, I believe only Mr. Shikanoin himself knows the answer. Ah, little Sayu. She hasn't been causing you any trouble lately, has she? If you ever notice her slacking off, please let me know. The Almighty Shogun? It would be improper of me to comment, given that I am one of her subjects. All I will say is that
I think that Her Excellency must get lonely on the road to eternity. I've always greatly enjoyed working with Guji Yae. Organizing festival affairs generally takes a lot of effort and doesn't generate much income, but Guji Yae's events always come off both elegant and profitable. As the head of the Kamisato clan, Brother always has a full schedule of places he needs to be. I do try my best to share his load, but there is no changing the pressure he is subjected to all year round, and the toll it takes upon him. If you see him, remind him to take care of himself for his sister's sake. The Yashiro Commission and the Shrine Maidens are responsible for festival affairs, and Yoimiya, as a fireworks expert, knows how to create an atmosphere. So we have become well acquainted with her over the years. Public order and fire prevention? We factor these concerns in well in advance during the planning stage. To deny people the chance to see fireworks simply for these reasons would leave them feeling very disappointed. Your request is quite unusual for me. Since I see you as a friend, it would only be fair to be open and honest with you. But if this means sharing secrets of the Kamisato clan, I would ask that you keep anything I tell you in strict confidence. The Kamisato clan once suffered a major blow when we failed to protect a swordsmith of national significance. We were harassed by the Fatui. We lost many of our people, and we received a great deal of criticism. It all aged Father greatly, and severely damaged the Kamisato clan's standing within the shogunate. Brother has worked tirelessly to reverse the trend since he assumed leadership. But although our clan's position is now restored, and the Yashiro Commission is unified once more, we still rely on Brother to make the decisions on all matters of any importance. The art of blade forging taught by the Shogun varies based on astrology, application, materials used, the furnace conditions, individual personalities, and elemental changes. These differences between smiths is what gave rise to the Raiden Gokuden. Swordsmiths capable of forging renowned blades are seen as spiritual personnel with sacred abilities. And as such, they should be managed by the Yashiro Commission, which oversees all cultural, artistic, and ceremonial affairs. So naturally, the swordsmith's betrayal is the fault of ineffectual management by the Kamisato clan. My mother was the most incredible person. She was always so dignified and elegant, always smiling, no matter what situation she might be facing. She had so much to deal with in the clan on so many levels, but she took it all in stride. It was like nothing could ever faze her. Everything about her was perfect, and I say that without exaggerating. But the moment she passed away, I realized I couldn't hide behind my mother any longer. I wasn't little Ayaka anymore. What I want to say next is perhaps not befitting of a member of the Inazuma Shogunate, Yashiro Commission Kamisato clan, but unless I am mistaken, I trust that you will not take issue with this slight departure from convention on my part. That is to say, I'm a little tired. May I rest my head on your shoulder? Just for a moment. I have great affection for the arts. Music, song, poetry, shogi, and dancing. And you? Troubles? Well, I mean, that's life, isn't it? There will always be things that don't go one's way. But I do not wish to worry those around me on account of things that are my concern alone. So it is best if I keep them to myself. Openness is something I find very difficult. I constantly have to remind myself that as a lady of the Kamisato clan, there are countless people watching and countless expectations to live up to. I must be a model of exemplary conduct at all times. But even so, shouldn't I still follow my dreams? Shouldn't I share my true feelings with you? I'm fascinated by food from overseas, though I don't get to try it very often. So if I had to choose something from Inazuma, then probably Chasuke. But not when anyone else is watching, so I tell you that in confidence. Though I do not eschew animal fat and organs entirely, they're far from my first choice. Come with me. We're not going far away. I promise it won't delay you too much. I managed to find out when your birthday was well in advance, so I could prepare in good time. Hopefully this wasn't assuming too much, but I guessed you might prefer this to an expensive gift. In honor of your birthday, please allow me to perform a fan dance for you. Thank you very much. It has been richly rewarding to learn from you so far, and I believe my skills with the blade can go even further still. Thank you for your guidance. With your assistance, I am gaining a more thorough understanding of my capabilities. I feel more competent now than ever before. I even have the time outside my work for the Yashiro Commission to try some new things. Would you like to try one of my homemade snacks? I just learned how to make them recently. Though I cling to that which has given me the strength to hold on, the weight of letting go is ever foreboding. My apologies. It should be a happy occasion, and yet it is such a sad phrase that comes to mind. Our time together has been so pleasant that I'm fearful of losing what I've gained. I'm sorry. I must compose myself.